Association football, more commonly known as simply football or soccer, is a team sport played with a spherical ball between two teams of 11 players. It is played by approximately 250 million players in over 200 countries and dependencies, making it the world's most popular sport. The game is played on a rectangular field called a pitch with a goal at each end. The object of the game is to outscore the opposition by moving the ball beyond the goal line into the opposing goal. The team with the higher number of goals wins the game. Football is played in accordance with a set of rules known as the laws of the game. The ball is 68 to 70 centimeters in circumference and known as the football. The two teams each compete to get the ball into the other team's goal, thereby scoring a goal. Players are not allowed to touch the ball with hands or arms while it is in play, except for the goalkeepers within the penalty area. Other players mainly use their feet to strike or pass the ball, but may also use any other part of their body except the hands and the arms. The team that has scored more goals at the end of the game is the winner. If both teams have scored an equal number of goals, either a draw is declared or the game goes into extra time or a penalty shootout depending on the format of the competition. Each team is led by a captain who has only one official responsibility as mandated by the laws of the game, to represent their team in the coin toss prior to kick-off or penalty kicks. Football is governed internationally by the International Federation of Association Football, which organizes World Cups for both men and women every 4 years. The FIFA World Cup has taken place every 4 years since 1930 with the exception of 1942 and 1946 tournaments, which were cancelled due to World War II. Approximately 190 to 200 national teams compete in qualifying tournaments within the scope of continental confederations for a place in the finals. The finals tournament, which is held every 4 years, involves 32 national teams competing over a 4-week period. It is the most prestigious football tournament in the world as well as the most widely viewed and followed sporting event in the world, exceeding the Olympic Games. The most prestigious competition in club football is the Uefa Champions League, which attracts an extensive television audience throughout the world. The final of the tournament has been, in recent years, the most watched annual sporting event in the world. The top 5 European leagues are the Premier League, Serie A, and League One, attracting most of the world's best players. Each of the leagues has a total wage cost in excess of £600 million per 763 million euros per 1.185 billion United States dollars. Football is one of a family of football codes, which emerged from various ball games played worldwide since antiquity. The modern game traces its origins to 1863 when the laws of the game were originally codified in England by the Football Association. The rules of association football were codified in England by FA in 1863 and the name association football was coined to distinguish the game from the other forms of football played at the time, specifically rugby football. The first written reference to the inflated ball used in the game was in the mid-14th century. Ehud Flory body went, als it were a football lay. The online etymology dictionary states that the rules of the game were made in 1848, before the split-off in 1863. The term soccer comes from a slang or jocular abbreviation of the word association, with the suffix appended to it. The word soccer was first recorded in 1889 in the earlier form of soccer. Within the English-speaking world, association football is now usually called football in the United Kingdom and mainly soccer in Canada and the United States. People in countries where other codes of football are prevalent may use either term, although national associations in Australia and New Zealand now primarily use football for the formal name. Kicking ball games arose independently multiple times across multiple cultures. According to FIFA, the Chinese competitive game Suju is the earliest form of football for which there is evidence. Suju players could use any part of the body apart from hands and the intent was kicking a ball through an opening into a net. It was remarkably similar to modern football, though similarities to rugby occurred. During the Ha Dynasty, Suju games were standardized and rules were established. Phainanda and Episkairos were Greek ball games. An image of an Episkairos player depicted in low relief on a vase at the National Archaeological Museum of Athens appears on the Uefa European Championship trophy. Athenaeus, writing in 228 CE, referenced the Roman ball game harpaestum. Phainanda, Episkairos and harpaestum were played involving hands and violence. They all appear to have resembled rugby football, wrestling and volleyball more than what is recognizable as modern football. As wit,